Have you ever wished you could manifest your desires so fast it feels almost illegal? What if I told you that everything you want, money, love, success, health, already exists right now? You don't have to work harder, wait longer, or struggle to get there. Everything your heart desires already exists waiting for you. Neville Goddard was one of the greatest teachers of the power of imagination, and he taught that all of our desires already exist in what we might call parallel realities. He taught the profound concept of creation is finished, meaning that everything you could ever want already exists in some version of reality. There isn't just one fixed timeline. There are infinite realities all existing simultaneously. The life you're experiencing right now is just one of those realities, but every possible version of your life is also real and available to you. The only reason you experience one version over another is because of where your awareness is focused. When you understand that everything you desire is already created, the question isn't whether you can create it. It's whether you can move from the parallel reality where you don't have what you want to the parallel reality where you do have what you want. Because that reality already exists. It's there, waiting for you to choose it, waiting for you to experience it. Hello, my beautiful superheroes. I'm Scarlet Grace, and I help people just like you shift into the reality where your desires are already true. If you're ready to manifest a life that's better than your wildest dreams, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you won't miss any videos that can change your life. Right now, you may feel stuck in a particular version of reality, one where you're living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay rent or cover your bills. Or maybe you feel trapped in a job that drains you, wishing you could be anywhere else doing something more meaningful and fulfilling. Perhaps you're longing for love and that perfect relationship, but you keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners, third parties, and heartbreak. Or you're dealing with a health issue that makes everyday life exhausting. These struggles feel real because your imagination has been unconsciously focused on them. Whether you realize it or not, you are always imagining something, and what you consistently imagine determines which version of reality you shift into. But here's something even more profound. The life you have right now is also something you once imagined, consciously or unconsciously. Everything that exists in the physical world was first created in the realm of imagination before it became reality. The phone or computer you're watching this on, the building you live in, the clothes you wear, none of those things appeared out of nowhere. They began as ideas, as visions and blueprints in someone's mind before they became real. The same applies to your personal reality. At some point, whether through repeated thoughts, emotions, beliefs, or expectations, you imagined and accepted certain circumstances as true, and they solidified into the life you're currently experiencing. Most of this happens without us even realizing it. From the time we're children, we absorb beliefs about the world from our families, our teachers, and society. If you grew up hearing that money is hard to come by or money doesn't grow on trees, you might have unconsciously accepted that as true, and now you find yourself struggling financially. If you saw your parents working jobs they hated just to survive, you may have developed the belief that work is supposed to be draining, leading you to a career that feels unfulfilling, and a belief that life is what happens on the weekends and after you retire, not before. If love in your family felt inconsistent or conditional or filled with disrespect and abuse, you might unknowingly manifest relationships that mirror that same emotional unavailability and painful patterns. Our subconscious minds are shaped by repetition. The things we heard, saw, and experienced over and over again in childhood became the foundation for what we expect out of life. And because imagination is always at work, we continuously create realities that match those deep-seated beliefs. It's not that we consciously choose to struggle. the heartbreak or the lack is not what we consciously choose, is that we are programmed to believe these things are normal. And since the subconscious mind doesn't question what it's been taught, it simply creates a world that reflects those beliefs. But the good news is that just as you unknowingly manifested your current reality, you can now consciously manifest a different one. When you begin to change the way you think, feel, and imagine, your reality will start to shift too. You are not stuck. You're simply living out an old story, one that now you have the power to change. A lot of people say, "But I'm not good at imagining." But that's not true. You're imagining all day, every day. When you worry about whether you'll have enough money at the end of the month, you're imagining something. When you worry about whether your date is going to call again or if they're going to ghost you, you are imagining. When you replay past heartbreaks and assume love will always be difficult, you're imagining. When you picture yourself stuck in the same place a year from now, you're imagining. When you're thinking about how long it's going to take to find a parking spot where you're going, you're imagining. When you're thinking about how good the pizza you're going to order tonight is going to feel in your mouth, you're imagining. And because imagination is the creative force of your life, what you consistently dwell on becomes your lived experience. It manifests, in other words. You don't need to try harder to create your desires. You just need to stop imagining the things that you don't want. Neville taught that the key to manifesting is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This means that instead of focusing on the absence of what you want, you fully embody the version of yourself who already has it. You don't wait for external proof to decide it's already real. Your decision itself that this is how it's going to be from now on is what shapes reality. Every moment, you're either aligning with a life you desire or reinforcing the one you wish to leave behind. The secret is to shift your state of being, because the version of you that has everything you want already exists in another reality. By stepping into that state now, by thinking like that version thinks, by feeling what that version feels, by reacting to what happens in your physical reality the way that version of you would have reacted, you naturally move into that parallel reality where you are that version of you, where your desires are already yours. If you're wondering how to start making that shift, I'm here to help you. I offer personalized coaching to guide you through the process of embodying the version of yourself who already has what you want, whether that's financial abundance, love, better health, or anything else you desire. And if your specific desire is love, check out my Manifest Your Specific Person course, where I walk you through exactly how to align with a version of you that is in your ideal relationship with your specific person already, and to bring that perfect relationship into your 3D reality. You can find the links for all of those things in the description below. Let's say that you want financial freedom. If you constantly stress about debt, check your bank account in fear, or tell yourself that money is hard to come by, you stay locked in a reality where financial struggle continues. But what if instead you assume the identity of someone who is already financially abundant? You would feel a deep sense of security, knowing that money flows constantly and effortlessly to you. You wouldn't panic over bills because in your reality, wealth is normal and expected. Instead of saying, "I never have enough," you would naturally think, "I always have more than I need." A bill that's higher than normal wouldn't even be an issue for you because you'd know that no matter the amount, you'll have made it back in a day or even in an hour. The shift isn't about positive thinking. It's about fully stepping into the version of you who already lives this truth, lives this life. The more you dwell in this feeling, the faster you move into the reality where financial ease is your everyday experience. The same applies to love. If you long for a relationship but keep picturing yourself alone, feeling unworthy or assuming love always leads to pain, you remain stuck in a reality where love is scarce. Instead, step into the version of yourself who is already loved, already desired, already cherished. Imagine what it feels like to be in a fulfilling relationship, waking up next to someone who adores you, sharing deep conversations, feeling completely secure in their love. When you embody this state, love must manifest in your world because you have aligned with a version of you that already has it. This works with self-concept too. If deep down you see yourself as unworthy, unattractive, invisible, not good enough, the world will reflect that belief back to you. People will treat you the way you expect to be treated. But if you shift your self-image and begin to see yourself as confident, as magnetic, as valuable, as popular, as a good leader, as someone who people can't help but love and choose, people cannot ignore, or however you want to be perceived by others, the world has no choice but to mirror that back to you. You will notice people responding to you differently, opportunities flowing in, and a sense of ease replacing all your insecurity. Neville explained that the world is like a mirror. It simply reflects back the state you occupy. If you want a different reflection, you don't argue with a mirror, you change yourself. By living in the end, by mentally and emotionally dwelling in the version of yourself who already has what you desire, you move from your current reality to a new one where that desire is your natural state. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a shift in consciousness. The moment you decide to start embodying this new state, you will notice the world starts to shift around you because you're already moving from your old reality to the parallel reality where you have what you desire. But some people ask, if reality is always changing, then why do I keep experiencing the same problems? The answer to that is simple. Because you keep imagining the same problems. Reality is fluid. It's constantly shifting based on where you place your attention. A lot of the time, we think we're focusing on a solution to our problems, but what we're really doing is continuing to focus on the problem itself. For example, if you're constantly thinking about how to fix your finances, you're not focusing on financial abundance, you're focused on the lack of money and how to solve that lack. Even though you may feel like you're seeking a solution and that's a positive thing, your attention is still on the problem, and that's what keeps manifesting more of the same. The only way to experience something different is to start imagining something different. When you stop trying to figure out the solution and instead you start to embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, everything that needs to happen to resolve the problem will unfold naturally. It's as if the whole of reality begins to rearrange things in your favor, but only after you've aligned with a version of yourself who already has the solution. This might seem counterintuitive, but the key is to stop trying to control the how and trust that once you live in the feeling of your desire being fulfilled, the steps to achieving that desire will come without effort. For instance, let's say you're unhappy in your current job and you feel like you can't figure out how to get a promotion or find something more fulfilling or something that pays you more. If you continue focusing on the problem, thinking about your dissatisfaction or trying to figure out your next move or looking at other people and wondering what are they doing differently, why do people see them as better than you and they're paying them better or promoting them and they're not promoting you, then you're still staying stuck in that same reality. But if you shift into the version of yourself who is already in a job you love, one that excites you and offers you opportunities for growth and more money and a better work environment, things will start to unfold without you having to plan every detail. You might find yourself, for example, in a new job, or a new job opportunity will present itself unexpectedly, or that someone at work notices your talents and offers you a promotion. When you step into the version of yourself who is already successful and fulfilled, the best path to getting there will appear almost effortlessly. Or in relationships. Instead of obsessing over why things never work out or focusing on the flaws of past partners, imagine yourself already in a happy, loving relationship. Picture the version of you who is deeply cherished, respected, and adored by someone who truly values you. Live in the feeling of already being in a fulfilling partnership. As Neville Goddard advised in one of his lectures, stop going out looking for the right one, because when you're looking for the right one, they will always be the wrong one. And that's because when you're searching for love, you are in essence focusing on the fact that you don't have it yet. And this can only create a reality where you keep not having it. That's why if you go looking for the right one, they will always be the wrong one. That's the only reality that can manifest, because that's the only reality that matches where you're focused on, not having found the right one yet. Searching for the right one implies a lack of love, and as long as you're focused on the lack, you keep manifesting situations where you're still searching, still looking, but never truly finding. Instead, what you need to do is embody the state of already being in the loving, perfect relationship you desire. Feel the joy of being with someone who is everything you've ever wanted. Someone who supports you, who loves you unconditionally, who shares your dreams. When you step into this version of yourself who already has love, you naturally align with a reality where you're no longer searching because you already are in your perfect relationship. That will bring the perfect person to you without you having to search for them, impress them, win them over, without you having to lift a finger really. With health, it's the same idea. If you constantly focus on your symptoms, your illness, or what's wrong with your body, you're still in the energy of the problem. But when you shift to embodying the version of yourself who is healthy, vibrant, and full of energy, you stop stressing about the how of healing. You already know what's wrong with your body, what hurts, what gives you trouble. But how about focusing on what's right instead? What is good about your body? Which organs, which functions work great? What feels good? If you shift your attention to what is working well in your body right now, you automatically begin to embody the version of you that is healthy. And that immediately starts moving you towards the reality where you are fully healthy in a body that feels good. You may experience this as the sudden disappearance of specific troubles and conditions, or you may experience a bridge of incidents where the right people, the right doctors, the right healers, the right treatment, the right medicine, the right therapist will appear in your life to resolve that problem. Everything you need to feel better will happen on its own or through a series of incidents that you won't have to figure out. They will unfold perfectly on their own, as long as you continue to embody this new version of you. The truth is, when you embody the version of yourself who already has what you want, the solutions to your problems will reveal themselves naturally. You don't have to figure out every step or stress about how things will come together. As you focus on the end result, the feeling of already having it, it triggers a bridge of incidents that take you from your old reality to the new reality. Everything you need to move toward your desires will show up without you having to plan or force anything. If you need to meet a specific person for your desire to manifest, you will be at the right place at the right time naturally. If you need to find out specific information, hear about a specific method or treatment or whatever, it will come to your attention and you will naturally be drawn to it without having to force it. You don't even have to know that this person or this method is part of the bridge of incidents. Many times, the bridge of incidents that shows up originally looks like something that has nothing to do with our desire. And only after you have fully manifested your desire, you can then look back and realize how all those seemingly completely random incidents were exactly what made your desire happen. This is the power of embodiment. When you become the person who already has what you want, everything else will fall into place automatically. Instead of dwelling on problems, focus on all the ways what you want already exists in your reality in some form. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, for example, don't keep stressing about not having enough. Instead, Notice how you have a job already. That means that you get money every payday. By focusing on how money is already coming regularly into your life instead of focusing on feeling dissatisfied with the amount, you are already moving towards the reality where you are financially abundant. Focus on all the ways abundance is already flowing into your life, big or small. Maybe you received a small gift from someone, or you got a surprise discount on something you needed. Perhaps you found spare change in your pocket, or you discovered that the bill you're paying is going to be reduced from now on. These are all signs that abundance is already present. Shift your focus to noticing all these ways abundance is already here, and you're going to manifest more and more and more of it. If you're feeling unfulfilled in your job, don't keep focusing on how much you dislike it. Look for the ways you're already being recognized or appreciated, even in small ways, even in tiny ways. Maybe a coworker acknowledged your hard work, or you received positive feedback on a project. These small incidents show that what you desire is already available to you right here, right now. It is present in your life right now. The more you focus on those incidents and the less you focus on how you don't have exactly what you want, the faster you will move to the parallel reality where your wish is fulfilled. In your relationships, instead of focusing on what's missing or wrong, notice the love, notice the admiration, notice the appreciation that already exists. If you are in a relationship that's not going well and that you want to improve, forget about what's going wrong for a bit. What is going right? What's good about this person? What are the things they do that you love? What are the aspects of the relationship that you cherish? If you're lonely and want to manifest your dream partner, where does love already exist in your life? Notice how your family loves you, or how your friends love you, or how your pets love you. Perhaps a friend sent you a thoughtful message, or someone smiled at you unexpectedly. Maybe your dog wags its tail wildly every time you walk through the door, even if you were gone for only 5 minutes. These are all ways that love and affection already exist in your reality. By focusing on them, you're automatically manifesting more and more love in your life. Shift your attention to the love and harmony you already have in your life, and you will experience more of that. Feel that it's already yours, and it will be. The more you focus on what's already in your reality that is in line with your desires, the quicker you'll begin to experience a reality where those things are abundant and natural. Manifesting isn't about forcing things to happen. It's about understanding that everything already exists waiting for you in a parallel reality and embodying the version of you that already has them so that you can move to that parallel reality. The only thing ever keeping you from it is your own imagination being fixated on something else. If you have a desire, but you're really struggling to shift to the reality where it's already yours, then you need to go and watch the video that's on your screen right now, because in that video, I walk you through a very specific step-by-step process to help you shift to your ideal reality. So click to watch that video now, and I'll see you in the next video.